Emo soap challenges, talking through your hat. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to, and thumbprints, crooked thumbprints. I love how my thumbprints both have like dents in them. I'm gonna have to do a thumbprint today as part of the fun challenge today. It was to make pictures out of thumbprints or make a graphic or something fun out of your thumbprint. And I looked at my thumbprints and I thought, oh, it's because I'm doing dishes. And now, it's half an hour later. And I'm like, no, my thumbs both have like dents down the middle, like they're broken or something. It's pretty funny. I guess I'm getting old and I have wrinkled thumbprints as well as just wrinkled me. So today, fun challenge day 292. I could be wrong about that. 292. 292 of our 365 day do one fun thing every day challenge, because I wanted to have more fun this year, and it turns out it was a perfect year to have a fun challenge and do one fun thing every day, look for one fun thing to do every day, because 2020 has been one absolutely interesting, chaotic, and crazy year. I think if you don't laugh about it, you probably cry about it, because it's been such an up and down roller coaster ride for so many people. And probably me less so than a lot of people, because I've had to make changes over the last couple of years. Over the last 3 years, I have made a lot of changes already. So a lot of the changes that I've made for my own personal situation had made the COVID switch easier for me. It hasn't really been a huge change or transition for me. It's actually been relatively minor compared to a lot of people and how they've been impacted by it. So the fun challenge has been a good one to do, just so that at least once a day I take a couple of minutes out and think about something fun and positive and happy, no matter what's going on in my life or in my world. And I like to share that with other people so that they can do the same. Guess what? Sometimes we need people to give us permission to look for something fun every day. And so I hope that I'm providing that, and that an opportunity for us to look at and think about. There's always, in any situation, no matter how weird it seems or dire or crazy or chaotic, there's always, it's the situation, right? And the situation is neither good or bad, positive or negative, good or evil, whatever, or however you want to look at it. It is just what's happening right now, what the situation is right now. And it's how we interpret the situation that really matters, how we experience it that is going to make the difference to us. And guess what? It's what difference it makes to us that really matters. The difference it makes to anybody else, it doesn't really matter. Bottom line is, it matters how it impacts us. And how it impacts us is very much up to us to decide. We get to decide how things are going to impact us. The COVID-19, short of actually contracting the virus and getting super duper sick, and that's up to us too. Are we in the line of the possibility of that happening to us? It's like anything else that's going on right now. I personally will admit I was upset and not 100% fearful, but fearful for other people that were being harmed in all the rioting that happened earlier this year. And not for me personally, because I knew I wasn't going to go anywhere near those areas where rioting was occurring. I just choose not to participate in any of that. And so I wouldn't be involved or in an area that I needed to go. But there were people I love and care about that needed to go through and travel through those areas for work or for medical care or for whatever. And I was fearful for them, because sometimes people have to go into areas where there's a whole lot of crap going on that you don't want to see them get hurt during or because of. And I made the mistake of speaking up about that and saying that there's no excuse and no reason for rioting. And you would have thought that I had started, I had thrown acid on somebody or something with some of the reactions that came from that, because it was like, justifying crime and violence and harming other people and innocent people was okay because they were upset about something. Guess what? It's not. It's never okay. And I don't know who taught these people that two wrongs make a right, but it just doesn't work that way. It's not like math where two negatives make a positive. No, life is not that way. It's actually just the opposite. Two wrongs exponentially damage everything and everyone around them. So I'm not going to say I learned my lesson, because I still speak up when I see people being ridiculous, and I just say, wow. I'm like, really? Wow, you just went there. And sometimes I'll comment on things just because it gets to the point where there seems to be this push to have anybody that doesn't agree with you just shut up, and you will do whatever, or you feel like, no, I'm not saying me personally or you personally, but people out there are doing whatever they can to pound down, bully, trample anybody that has an opinion that doesn't agree with theirs. Guess what? We all get an opinion. We all get and have the right, at least right now today. What is today? Today is the 26th of October in the United States of America. We still have the right to our opinion. All of us. We don't have to agree with one another, but we all have the right to express our opinion in ways that do not harm other people, right? None of us have a right to hurt or harm other people. It's not one of our inalienable rights. We get to speak our mind, but we don't get to harm other people in the process. I don't care if you say, oh, history, or all these other nonsense things that people are expounding. It's okay. Let's take a deep breath and think for ourselves. So I don't even know how I got on that tangent. Fun, because fun. 2020 is supposed to be fun. So fun challenge. Get Up and Go challenge today was about emotions. Obviously, I'm getting emotions, and it was about emotional soap, going through the soap framework, using one of our emotions that we feel strongly. So I went through an example of fear, and I don't know what I was thinking. I thought I could share more than one tool, and I ended up not. I just talked through a couple of examples and said where they could find other emotions that I've gone through in previous Get Up and Go challenges if they want more help with this particular area and aspect of their life. But just talking about 4 tools in one day ended up being an 18-minute video. So I need to rethink that. I think I need to already abandon the idea that I was going to share a new tool for each of the S, O, A, and P for emotional, mental, spiritual, and contribution. It's just ridiculous. It's way too much to cover. So I think I'll just go back to, I'll pick one key tool a day and use that. So I think that's manageable. And to give an example of walkthrough, it's hard to walk through all 4 steps out loud in a 10-minute period, much less tools plus steps plus this is your action item for the day. So action item today was just to think about an emotion that you feel strongly about, rate it before you do this soap framework. So rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being I think about this all the time. So fear of something, or fear in general. How often do you feel fear? If you're feeling fear every day, then it's probably a 9 or a 10, and that's when you want to use the SOAP framework on. If you're feeling, you can do it positive or negative emotions. You could do it on love. If I'm feeling love every day at a 10, and I can run through the SOAP framework because I want to keep feeling more of that, right? So we want to go through this SOAP framework and put in processes and steps, and so that we have progress toward feeling more and more and more of that. With negative emotions like fear, doubt, worry, anxiety, frustration, anger, mistrust, any of those, judgment, any of those, we would want to go through the SOAP framework and have our number go down. We want to feel less of that. So say you want to feel more love, you're not feeling enough love, and so you rate it at a 3 at the beginning. If you go through the SOAP framework, you want to do things that will make it go up. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fear, I said, I gave an example of COVID-19, beginning of COVID-19, first hearing about it, fear, about an 8. Then I did a bunch of things, options, looked at my options, took action, and then put systems in place to keep me safe, because I wanted to go from being afraid I would get COVID-19 to making sure that I'll stay healthy. So how do you fill that gap? The SOAP framework is all about filling the gap from where you are to where you want to be. So that was today's, was emotional. And again, tomorrow I'll do mental, spiritual, and contribution. And that will have all 7 areas of our life covered in the Get Up and Go framework. Get Up and Go framework. Get Up and Go 30-day free challenge. So we'll do that. And then I'm committing right now to come up with a way and a place to share all these tools that I've learned throughout my life, because they are so incredible. If I hadn't benefited from them, and if I've tried something that I haven't mastered yet, I'm not going to share it. But there are pages and pages of tools that I use all the time, and I have my whole own toolbox, right? I have a whole toolbox of things that I can pull on based on whatever's going on in my life or whatever situation I have, whether it's in my personal life or my business life or my spiritual life or my relationships, whatever. There's all these different activities and tools and things that I can go to and use and apply to myself, use on myself, right? I am my own greatest science experiment to continually improve and move toward the things that I want overall. Because guess what? My entire life is actually one giant SOAP framework, right? I am one giant work in progress. So that was our Get Up and Go challenge today. Supersize Your Business challenge was, of course, talking through your hat and people that talk about things that they know nothing about, or that talk like they're an expert on something that they're absolutely not. They think it might have come from Parliament and filibustering, but there's really no direct tie or correlation to that. It's from the 18th century, and it used to mean to bluff or to pretend something, and that meaning morphed to meaning, you know, talking nonsense or talking about things that you don't know anything about, as if you do know something about them, and you should just be quiet. It's a lot of that going on in the world right now with COVID and politics and a whole lot of things. And so I say be loving, love being, be you, and forget about the rest. As long as you're doing that and thinking for yourself, you'll be okay. So those are the main things I'm working on right now. Awesome Monday. Have an absolutely awesome day. If I can help you anyway, ask in the comments below. Get Up and Go challenge, Get Up and Go free challenge day 26. But the recordings are always available on the Get Up and Go challenge page, not in order, of course, but in the free Get Up and Go challenge group. So you can join the private group, and they'll be there. They're in units, so you could go see the things in order. You can also search by topics, because I have shared some of the biggest lessons I've learned in a couple of different units. I think unit 2 and unit 5, and it could be unit 3 and 5. I don't remember, but I know 5 for sure, are just sharing life lessons that I've had over my last 60 years, things that I've learned the hard way. Most of those lessons have been very hard fought and hard learned. So I share brief videos about those in that unit section of the Get Up and Go challenge. All right, have an awesome day. I will be with you tomorrow. Day 1003 it'll be tomorrow, of documenting my journey as I transition from the brick and mortar world to the online world.